Alright, guys, so this might be a little late, but I didn't want to talk about it because I didn't want to think about it because I didn't want anything to do about it. And that is Rings of Power episode 6. I cannot believe there are only two left because there's so much has happened, so much storyline, meaningful storylines. We have a lot of meaningless storylines, but not a lot of meaningful storylines. Because the Harfoots, you can erase them, useless. I mean, I'm sure in episode 8, the not Gandalf over the side plot character is gonna come out of the woodwork to do something majestic. I have no doubt. But what's the point of waiting 8, 9 hours? So, yeah, so Galadriel is arc. What is her arc? Pardon me. What is her arc? None. She wanted to spend centuries seeking Sauron. Now she wants to spend centuries seeking Sauron for to get even with the orc leader or the Uruk leader to plant a dagger in his heart. Great for you. I don't care. So yeah, that's about it. Numenorians are futile, helpless, but going ahead of myself. It's just because I just don't want to bore you guys with. I'm sure by this time you've seen plenty of reviews, and so what's the point of talking about it? I don't want to rewatch it. I base here my knowledge of reviews I've seen because I don't want to rewatch it because there's no point. Excuse me. Need a little liquid courage to go through this fucking shitstorm. So first, let's debut. Yes, Adar, who is a made-up character. Why do you make a made-up character? Again, what do Amazon have the rights to or not? I guess that's what shifts the balance because you don't need this character. You just need the elves. Remember in the Two Towers when I'm sure you remember this when when the Urukai arrive at the Helm's Deep and there's a single rock and there's an Urukai yelling with his sword up. And when he yells, the army stops. And when he yells again, the army goes forward. Do we know his backstory of this character? No. Do we know his name? No. Because it doesn't matter. Don't you see it? It's so obvious. It doesn't matter. They are orcs. They are mindless, brutal, killing machines. They are product of dark sorcery. Maybe the elves were manipulated by dark sorcery to become orcs, but we clearly saw that Saruman created. We see Saruman in the Two Towers uh, when we see again the Two Towers. It's so good. You see delving into mud and orcs are his orcs are delving into mud and they're like cocoons, like with a skin, a translucent skin, and they tear that up, and that reveals the chief of the Urukai that goes against Aragorn in the Fellowship. So excuse me, I've got my movies mixed, but you know what I mean. You know what? Fuck it. Excuse me. So now they have an elven leader who is scarred, face scarred. So he must have been through some shit, but we never know. It's never explained. He doesn't talk about it. And so what's the point? I'm already tired. 5 minutes into this. Jesus Christ, guys. Okay, so Adar makes a discourse whatever, war cry, whatever, leading speech, a leading war speech, that they have to reclaim their home, that they have been mistreated, that they have been. It's like, dude, what do you think you're talking? Who do you think you're talking to? You're talking to orcs. He called them uruks. I've read the Silmarillion. The Silmarillion. And that's kind of reverse because there are many orcs in Tolkien's view. There are many orcs, and there was only one Urukai. And Peter Jackson with his team said, well, we need an army of Urukais. So they called them the Urukais. And that was what they needed for the movies, for the Battle of Helm's Deep. And it worked great. And that is a great example of when they kind of shifted the lore for their benefit, and it was logical and it worked. So that's a good way to do this. If you have a slight piece of Tolkien's lore and you want to expand it for your benefit, that's how you do it. But now it's the contrary. So now the orcs are uruks. They call them uruk. Why? We don't know. We don't know the language. We don't know the what the term means. We just know because it confuses the audience. Because all the audience know when you say uruk, they talk about the urukais, the beef, otherworldly, monstrous, muscled, tall beasts like that you never want to confront. These guys will fucking kill you. They are ravagers. They are monsters. Orcs are more little and more sneaky and more less courageous, but they're still killing machines because they have no other purpose. They're evil beings. So right there you start by confusing the audience. So okay, and he makes a speech that we have whatever. It's not verbatim, but it's the usual villain speech, word for word, ABC. We have to reclaim We have endured, we have suffered, blah blah blah. It's like, no, you're orcs. You do whatever the fuck you want. Nobody's fucking with you. And it's like, it's not killing 100 humans. What will that bring you? What will that bring you? The answer is not much. And that's what this episode, this war, this battle, the Numenorians, and everything is based on. And it's a crude falling foundation. It, it, it doesn't hold on to a pressure of my finger. So, anyway, so the orcs goes. And I'm sorry to say, first big mistake. I know you want to show the size of your army. I know you want to see great CGI with all that $1 billion show, and you want to show how much of an army you got, and how much they're great in numbers, and how much they have to be feared, and how much it's scary for the humans. But hear me on this. It makes no logical sense for orcs to carry torches except to burn something, like a village. But if you have, I don't know, Adar's got 1,000, maybe, and I'm being generous. Let's say he has 1,000 orcs, but they all carry torches. Orcs have night vision or dark vision, call it what you will. With the light of the moon, as long as there is a source of light, they can see through darkness perfectly. Like, because this goes double when you say in your show, that sun burns them like vampires. Like 3 seconds in the sun and you bloody cysts and your skin is burning and you're gonna explode in 5 seconds. Okay. Then they don't like the daylight. So when do they live? They live at night. And what does living at night brings you? Night vision. Even humans can do it. Even ninjas. The historical ninja spent nights and nights into barrels to see more clearly at night. The eyes and vision are things that can be manipulated. It's like sleeping. It's like people who work nights will sleep in the day. It's the same thing. It's a physical manipulation of an anatomical manipulation. But again, I'm thinking too hard about this. Orcs don't need it. Orcs don't need torches. Maybe one torch by 30 people. The only reason they all have torches is to see the size of the army for the viewer, for the dumb people. Because, of course, if they weren't carrying torches, we wouldn't know in the dark how much how many they are. But that's the point. The enemy, imagine you are an orc. And you're raiding a village or a watchtower at the beginning of this episode. Do you want the enemy to see how much of you there is? Or do you want to keep it a secret and raid the fuck out of it and erase what the enemy can see of you, erase your numbers, erase your fighting potential, erase your physical sight? Like in the dark, orcs are fucking invisible. You can't see them. Sure, they make a lot of noise, but again, my first point is they go to the watchtower, and this is so stupid. They walk up to the door and open the door. And I'm like, Adar Chief, Orc Master, whatever. If you can go through a military watchtower controlled by the elves for 80 years, and you open the doors and there's nobody, you have to reconsider your strategy, my friend. But I know I won't say that I was wrong, because who could have foreseen the defeat of Prodigy that Arondir the elf does next? And he has all this under control. He begins to flip around. He jumps through a window, swing with a chain, kick a cord, a rope, and everything spins and breaks and shatters, and pillars of weights go up and down and side to side, and everything goes and everything blows up, and the watchtower crumbles onto the side of the mountain, and the rocks crashes. Let's say 200 orcs. Let's say for just the fun of it. Okay, so you could do it all by yourself. And by the way, I'm no military expert, but to say that the human villagers, should retreat to a village while they could be living in a fortified watchtower area? Sure, I mean, if your plan is to destroy the watchtower to crash the orcs, there's still plenty of orcs left. So, first, I don't know how you did this. It's fucking stupid. If your watchtower can crumble so easily, or because you're so epic, because you're an elf and you're doing a Legolas moves like in the movies, because I think that's what they went for. Sure, do it. But what do you think will happen next? Well, you'll still have the same problem of an army of orcs. Yeah, maybe you kill 100 of them, but it's still moving and goes next to the village, which has no fortification, no tower, nothing. And now you can use your torches, my orc friends, and you can burn everything and everyone, because it's all made of wood and you know what? The roof are just a very flammable village. So yeah, bring your torches to the party, and here we go. So they go to the village. I'm sorry, just so stupid. They go to the village. God, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. And by the way, we see clips of the Numenorian ships, and Isildur have a slight conversation with Galadriel, and not much happens. We learn about Galadriel's mother, like we give a fuck. We don't. Isildur is not a sympathetic or interesting character. Elendil is. So if you had this conversation with Elendil and Galadriel, hmm, this could be alright. But you don't. You make it with his son. We already know how Isildur ends. Yes, he cuts the ring out of Sauron's hand, but he ends like a fucking coward and a fucking um, power hungry, um, almost monster that ends up being killed for his um, envy of the ring. So this is not a good character. I don't care how he starts. I don't care how young he is. I don't care about anything. I don't care about his mother because I already know he's gonna die as a fucking coward who is power drunk and um, doesn't destroy the ring when he had the chance with Elrond in Mount Doom. So the guy that could have made it all of Lord of the Rings, nada, chose to keep the ring and be power hungry and be killed by his stupidity. That's the person you want me to root for? Kind of seems so, because in a few scenes you see him riding heroically and saving his father and blah blah blah. But let's start at the villagers. So the orcs, yeah, the watchtower crumbles and shatters a few orcs. Yay, what the fuck? Okay, next. The orcs say, yeah, we get killed all the time. That's why we are 1,000 and not 200. Come on, let's go. We don't care. We're used to seeing our brethren dying and being shot and crashed and killed and head cut. We're used to it. We're not human beings. We don't fear death. We don't fear being tortured or maimed or killed, or we don't care about this. We're not humans. We're monsters. So what monsters do is, oh, the enemy is not here. He's there. Let's go there. So they go there, and they do a little montage of the humans bringing ropes and arrows and blah blah blah, and shutting everyone in the inn with haystack for a roof. The most flammable inn there is, and you assemble all your people there. So the orcs come, the orcs kill a lot of people. Arondir takes a fight with a really big orc. And of course, he can't save himself, so the lady, the flower. I call her the flower lady because I don't know what the fuck Bronwyn, I think his name is. Her name is. I don't give a fuck. She's a non-character. She doesn't. She she is a non-character more because they don't treat her like uh, a resident of this village. Because when we see when she was doing her speech in the last episode, and when we see her interact with her people, everybody in the village is dragged down, muddy, dirty, hungry, weak, angry, and so on and so forth. But she's all clean, pure skin, uh, a beautiful robe with brighten colors, and she has and her teeth is white when everything else like in because Tolkien is medieval historical writer. So in the medieval state of normal humans, not Numenorians. Numenorians are superhumans, supposed to be superhumans, like enhanced height, strength, and everything with that. So we're not talking about Numenorians, we're talking about normal human beings. And so, why is she the only one? Like, because they want to say she's a leader, she looks better, like she's not rich. And why would you follow her? And she has no military experience, no fighting experience, no whatever. Around here gets into a big fight with a big orc, kicks him in the face, shoots him, blah blah blah, pierces his eye. But in the end, Bronwyn has to get a come from behind and uh, just kill the big orc with a sword. Yay. Do you care? I don't. I very much would have wanted for Arondir to use his intellect to find a way to defeat a bigger, stronger enemy. That would have make me see Arondir in a better light because it would have told me, oh, this guy is smart. This elf is using his potential for, like we said, like Galadriel at the beginning kills the snow troll. It's the same thing. But Galadriel, it was why it failed with Galadriel is because it was too easy, too convenient. She didn't get a scratch, and she just wanted to look cool and did some cool moves. And like it's like in Michael Bay movies when heroes don't walk and don't look at the explosion behind. It's like, yeah, we're so cool, we don't need to watch it. We know there's an explosion. Yeah, we're so cool. That's Galadriel. She doesn't earn anything. She is flawless in every way. And it's true again for this episode. So around here, it's this fight, blah blah blah. Anyway, so it seems like this movie doesn't get a shit again about the timeline. I've spoken about this in the last episodes. The timeline is fucked. They say it takes 4 days here, and they always try to put on a map and dress a map and say, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. 4 days in boat to go there, 2 days of horse riding to go there, and blah blah blah. Doesn't fucking matter. They could cut this scene. Want to cut scenes? Cut this scene. Doesn't matter. They arrive at the precise single moment, and they arrive at the worst moment in this the lore again. The lore, the lore, the lore, the lore. And I will fucking drive you crazy with the lore. Because not only it's like in the village, the battle is at night, of course, because the orcs attack at night, because they have night vision. They are night creatures, so they attack at night, under the cover of darkness. And cut, and I see the army of, again, the army of Numenorians, which are not Numenorians, leading by Galadriel, who is not Galadriel, riding fiercely into the dawn. And I'm like, the dawn. Well, you're too late. Because during last night, the orcs killed almost everybody. And I'm not gonna go in details how Bronwyn gets shot twice by 2 arrows, and when they try to heal her, the production forgot 1 arrow, and they just heal 1 arrow. Small thing, but you showed clearly that she was hit by 2 arrows, but in the next scene she has only 1 arrow. So, and conveniently into the shoulder, the big, bad, easy, durable shoulder. It's like it's so lazy. It's like you see it in every big Hollywood franchise. It's like when the hero takes a shot, shoulder, 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 shoulder. It's like the shoulder is the god of all live. All live. It's just the shoulder. Do you have any idea how much arteries and all this shit that goes down here? Like, in an arrow is not a little weapon. It's fucking destructive. And she was bleeding to death. I mean, they even got shot of under the table to see his blood dripping. It's like, jeez, holy fuck. I in my mind, she is fucking dead. She has lost all her blood, for Christ's sake. But no, a wooden burning stake will cauterize the wound, and next day, even not next day, next hour, because she's at dawn, and she walks out of the inn to thank Galadriel. And it's like 2 hours later. Because Bronwyn is very, very durable. So all of this makes no sense. Okay, so again, the Numenorians were not Numenorians, just normal random soldiers. I hate their armors. Their armor looks fucking shit. And yeah, so they arrive at dawn. So again, the problem of the sun for the orcs. I saw no orcs fighting outside being burned by the sun. What the fuck? But they got like clothes, capes, like, again, so that protects them from the sun. Yeah, it's no. It's just bad writing. So again, I'll just conclude by there's a big chase, and I have to say my only positive yet in all this shitstorm of a series, the soundtrack when Galadriel and Halbrand chase Adar is pretty good. It reminded me of Lord of the Rings. It had the chorus. It was pretty good. But then they have to break logic again by having Halbrand coming from here and going all the way from there. And they cross paths to capture Adar. And yeah, they capture him. And Galadriel breaks character. It's like, no, Halbrand, don't kill him. Again, about seawater, don't drink seawater. What the fuck are you talking about? And Halbrand is about to kill him, and blah blah blah, but he doesn't. And then Galadriel questions him, and she wants to kill him, but she doesn't. And it's like blah blah blah, twice the same thing at the same time for no fucking reason. We don't need this. If you're gonna kill him, kill him. If you don't, you don't. Stop spending 10 and 15 minutes on him. And then they have a kind of romantic scene, a romantic um like I don't know how to call it. It's not telepathic like Galadriel would do, like in Lord of the Rings. It's like suggestive. Suggestive. I'll call it suggestive. Um, because Galadriel said Gabriel says to Halbrand, yeah, when I fought at your side, I felt something, felt something, felt something. And Halbrand said, oh yeah, me too. When I fought at your side, I felt something, felt something, felt something. Okay, we get it. Get a room and go fuck. I mean, do I? Isn't this an adult series? I mean, you can go fuck if you want. Nobody will fucking care. And it's like, okay, well, and then everybody forgets about the crazy guy who believed in Sauron and who has stolen the sword and who wakes up a volcano with water. Okay, so you spent $1 billion to see a crazy, muddy, gray, skinny fucking nobody, crazy guy gets his hands on the most powerful key in the known world that Sauron left behind to awake Mount Doom, or so it seems. What the fuck? Do I have to explain what is stupid and ridiculous? And again, it's not like the heroes and the protagonists of the series didn't know about this. It was their job to hide it. They had one job: hide the fucking MacGuffin so that nobody can use it. And they failed. I don't know what to say at this point. I say, yeah, you could say I've seen videos that explain how volcanoes don't work like this. I say it's a fantasy series. Awakening the volcano is not a problem in my eyes. It's like, at this point, awaken the fucking volcano, at least something will happen. And we finish by having Galadriel standing proud and strong against the furious volcano. It's like, yeah, look, I know you're badass and all, but it's a fucking volcano. Everyone last of you is gonna die by the fumes or the fire or the lava or the explosions or the rocks or the storm of heat, whatever. You're all dead. But no, they're alright. So, again, sorry it has taken so long to come out and to explain. I've tried to be as concise as can be, but with a show this dumb and ridiculous and who disrespects every kind of logic and lore and measure of intelligence, I had to say my thoughts. So yeah, there you have it. Um, Again, I cannot believe there are only 2 episodes left. I cannot believe how bad this show is. I can't believe I have to go through and watch 2 other hours of it. I can't believe there are 5 seasons coming. Um, but I'll just say this: Hey Amazon, you better figure your shit quickly because you're gonna lose. I'm sure you've already lost a lot of money on this, but you better figure your shit out quickly, like super quick. I know you won't go down for $1 billion. You have how many billions? I don't know. But this is a fucking total failure, and you should be fucking ashamed. So, anyway, it's my thoughts. Thanks, guys, for keeping with me. Grab a drink to survive this fucking hellhole, and see you next time.